In this video, I'm going to be going over what I am currently crypto mining at home. I'm a big advocate for at-home crypto mining with consumer hardware. And even though profits aren't the greatest, I still love the idea of being able to basically mint my own coins, acquire coins using hardware that I already have, and not having to go through a traditional financial institution in order to acquire those coins. So I use the hardware that I have and I crypto mine with it. And today we're going to talk about what I am currently mining. I'm not going to go over earnings or anything like that. Earnings aren't the greatest right now in crypto. And so what I am doing is most of my hardware is on auto conversion pools, and we are mining some coins and auto converting into some other coins. And so let's hop on over. So I've got a spreadsheet. I'm currently running about 48 systems at home. Most of these are very low powered systems. And we're going to start off with my oval board dedication rig. I've done a video on this before. This is a 8 by RX 5300. These are 3 gigabyte VRAM GPUs. We're running this on MMPOS. If you're unfamiliar, MMPOS does not charge you if the VRAM is 3 gigabytes or less. So this rig is essentially free to run from a software perspective. So we are solo mining NOR AI through mining Dutch. So that's on the Capel algorithm. And we are auto converting that into Litecoin. Next up, I've got a couple mini ASICs here. So we've got a iPolo V1 Mini Classic, and we're actually solo mining Octaspace on Cryptex. And the way Cryptex works is if you're solo mining, whenever you hit a block, you basically get credited in the sats equivalent of that on your account. And then when you go to cash out, you get to pick which type of coin you want to cash out. So what I put in here, I put solo Octa auto converted to Bitcoin, and that's because that's kind of what they're doing. And then at the time we do the payout, we can always take that payout in LTC, we can take it in BNB, we can take it in like USDT on Tron or on BNB. They have a bunch of different payout options there. So we're doing that with our V1 Mini Classic, and then we also have a V1 Mini Classic Plus. These are doing pretty good. I hit a solo block once a day or once every other day. So it's been relatively consistent. Moving on, we've got our Baikel ASIC. So I have a Baikel BKG28 and also a Giant X10. Both of those are mining Grotzel on Mining Dutch, and that is PPS. So I'm not solo mining those. I'm doing a paper share. And so essentially every time I submit a share, I'm getting a little bit of credit, and that is auto converting that into LTC periodically on that pool. Next up are a handful of quote unquote lottery miners for Bitcoin. So we've got a Jingle miner, 1.2 terahash. So it's very similar to a BitX Gamma. And we've got that on Mining Dutch, and we're soloing Digibyte and auto converting that into Litecoin. Doing the same thing with a Lucky Miner LVO7, which has a slightly less hash rate. It's about 1 terahash. And then we've got a Canon Avalon Nano 3. We actually have this on the super low power mode. So this gets about a little bit under 2 terahash at 65 watts. And we're also soloing Digibyte. Now, when we're soloing Digibyte, we're also solo merge mining all of the merge mineable coins. So things like Syscoin, Namecoin, all the various coins. So we have a chance of getting those block rewards as well. Moving on to some FPGAs. So I have 3 FPGA setups that each have 3 FPGA chips in them. So we've got an Osprey E300 VU7P. So this has 3 Xilinx 7Ps in it. And then we've got one with 3 33Ps and 3 35Ps. And these are all currently mining Waglela. Now, I was mining Tari for the longest time. However, Tari recently got an ASIC, And as soon as those ASICs started coming online on DX Pool, everything started tanking from a profitability standpoint. So Waglela isn't really profitable for me, but I wanted to keep this hardware on. It's pretty much like a wash for the most part. So I am mining this though, and I am periodically swapping it out. Right now I'm just swapping it out to USDT on the exchange. At some point in the future, I will start converting those to another coin. And then I've got three gold shell bytes. All of them have both an Aleo card and a Doge card in them. So all of the Aleo cards we've got on F2 pool, mining Aleo. I didn't fund a bunch on the staking side, but one of these gold shell bytes I had right after launch. I actually won it from a gold shell giveaway. The second one I bought from Jingle Mining, and the third one is the one that Red Panda Mining had. So both of these I've had on for quite a while, and they are all, like I said, all the Aleos are on F2 pool, and all the Doge cards are solo mining Digibyte on Mining Dutch. Once again, similar to the SHA-256, we're able to solo mine and solo merge mine. And so I've actually been getting quite a few of like World Coin and New York Coin blocks with the bytes. So that's cool to see. We haven't actually seen a Digibyte block yet, a solo block, and these have been running for several months now. So not sure if I'm going to change. I might be changing this up. I might just take a gamble and just throw it on like LTC or Doge, but we'll see. Moving on, so I've got a few towers here. So we've got and these are basically like a ITX tower, the full ATX motherboard, power supply, RAM, desktop CPU, a whole desktop setup with GPU. So with this one, I've got this mining Vertcoin. Actually need to update this. This is mining Vertcoin with the GPU. And this is mining Pepe W, converting to Litecoin when not ran on Best. So it should actually be this and this here. But essentially what we're doing is the CPU is mining Pepe W on Zpool, and that is auto-converting to LTC. And then on the GPU, we're doing Vertcoin and auto-converting that to LTC through Mining Dutch. The reason I'm doing VertHash is it's more of a low heat algorithm. And so I'm still kind of battling the heat here in the south. It's still kind of warm going into the winter. We'll see what the temperature looks like. But right now, I'm trying to control the heat as much as I can. So we've got pretty much all the GPUs through the rest of this list. You're going to see they're all on VertHash, and heat is the main reason behind that. Moving on, we've got a Tower 3080. So this has a 3080 10 gig in it. And you'll notice that these are listed on Vast. Some of these, about half of what I have on Vast is consistently rented. The other half isn't. On all the systems, when they're not rented, this is what's mining. So if you notice, I'm not solo mining VertHash here because if it goes rented, giving up that chance of hitting a solo block. So we are doing straight pool mining on both the CPU and the GPUs on here when they're not rented on Vast. So we've got a 3060 Ti tower, a 3080 tower. We also have a 5070 tower. And then we have two X300s. So I've talked about these on the channel before. These are ASRock X300, kind of like mini ITX chassis. It kind of is like an all-in-one bare bones almost, where you just throw in the CPU, the RAM, and the GPU and the hard drive, and you're good to go. Kind of out of the box. You don't have to buy a motherboard or anything. Everything's included in that kit. So I've got a couple of those. Those have Ryzen 3700Xs in them. So that's an 8-core, 16-thread processor. And they both have 3060 Ti's in them, which are kind of the best GPU that you can run in that small form factor because you need to restrict that to a 200 millimeter card depth. So once again, with these, we're mining PepeW on the CPU and VertHash on the GPU. And then moving on, I recently picked up, I've talked about this briefly, but I recently picked up about 50 old Dell computers that were used by the local government in their office spaces. And I got a really good deal on all these. And so I have basically all of these are either on Okta or Vast. And when they are not rented, they are mining. So all these minis, so Dell Mini 1 through 7, these are all basically ultra small form factor Dell systems. And so you can't put GPUs in them. They're CPU only. So I have all my CPU only systems are on Okta. And when they're not rented, they're mining PepeW on Zpool. Moving down, we've got the rest of these, well, not all of them, but the majority of these here are going to be small form factor Dell systems. So the first one, we haven't put a GPU in this yet. So this is still on Okta, mining PepeW. Same thing with the second one. You can see this one has an i7-6700. I do need to put a GPU in this one. I just haven't yet. Once I put a GPU in this one, this will move over to Vast. But for now, we are mining basically anything on Okta is CPU only and is going to be mining PepeW to Zpool. So we've got an i5-7500, an i7-6700, an i5-6600 in those first three. And then you can see in number 4, this has a i7-3770K, but we did go ahead and throw in an A2000 12 gig card in this. So with this one, it's listed on Vast. When it's not rented, we are mining Vertcoin on that A2000, and that 3770K is mining PepeW. And you may be asking yourself, why am I mining PepeW and not Zeph or Monero or Tari or any other, or Varus, any other CPU coin? And that is because Intel CPUs really excel at PepeW. They actually get on par or a better hash rate than like my Ryzen's do. So for that reason, I wanted to keep all my CPUs consistent on the same algo. So I just put everything on PepeW for now. If profitability drops off of that, then I may just switch it over to RandomX. But for now, we are leaving everything on PepeW across the board on the CPU side. Moving on to small form factor 5. This has an i7-4790 in it. It's a one generation newer, and a 3056 gig. And once again, on that 3050, I'm mining Vertcoin, and that CPU is mining PepeW when it's not ran on Vast. 6 through 13, these are all on Okta, and they are just mining PepeW. Right now, I'm running through some tests with this one. So one of the unfortunate things about all of these is I can only fit a single slot card in these. So I'm currently evaluating like an A1000, the 3056 gig. I'm trying the single slot ones. I'm trying to figure out what the best card is for these in single slot. So if I do decide to keep these systems and just throw them on Vast, what GPUs are actually going to get rented. Worst case scenario, throw 3056 gigs in these, and I mine Vertcoin with them. But I'm trying to play that out and figure out if there's a good single slot card for those. Moving on, Elite Desk one. This is a HP Elite Desk Tower. It's got an i5-4570 in it. It's on Okta. Same thing with Elite Desk 2, except this actually has an AMD A8 Pro 7600B. So these are both Gen 1 Elite Desks. We got an Intel variant and an AMD variant. And then HP Tower 1. This is a HP Tower 1 and HP Tower 2. These are both HP Pro desks. So this one has an i7-6700 in it. It also has a Gigabyte 4060 low profile card in it. And With this one, we are, once again, this is on Vast. This one actually stays rented quite a bit. And when it's not rented, we're mining Vertcoin. When it is rented, we are mining, when it's not rented, we're mining Vertcoin on the GPU and PepAW on the CPU. HP Tower 2, Compact Tower 1, Compact Tower 2. These are CPU only at the moment. Haven't put GPUs in these yet, so they are on Octa. And then Compact Tower 3, we've got an i7-3770 in this. We've got a 3056 gig. And we are, once again, mining Vertcoin on that GPU and mining PepAW on that CPU. Then we've got 2 Dell Towers. Those are both on Octa because they're still CPU only. The big thing with the majority of these systems, except for the towers, is that everything is low profile, meaning I have to run low profile cards in these. And so I'm kind of restricted on the cards I can run. That's why I'm playing around with A2000s, A1000s, 3050s, 4060 low profiles. I haven't jumped to the 5060 low profile yet, just because they're a little bit more scarce to find and they draw more power than the 4060 low profiles. So a lot of these have low TDP PSUs in them. So I have to kind of watch what I'm running. And the 4060 has a TDP of only 115 watts. Makes it a little bit easier to run in these without having to upgrade the hardware that's already in the systems. And then the last two on here that I've included are my NASes. So these are providing decentralized storage on the storage network. And I actually have about 20 hard drives sitting in the corner right now that I'm looking at acquiring some more NASes. And I'm going to expand on this and put more on the storage network. But right now we've got 14 terabytes in the primary NAS and 4.5 terabytes from the secondary NAS. Those are providing decentralized storage. Storage is a token on the Ethereum blockchain. So every month I get a payout. It's usually about the first week of the following month. Get the payout for the prior month in the storage token. And then I can either swap that to Ethereum, or I can hold it, or I can just send it to Coinbase. Coinbase supports storage. There's tons of liquidity options with storage. It's a really good project. It may not pay a whole lot, but I like the idea of just using the hard drives I have, providing storage, and not really using any power whatsoever for the most part. So this is what I currently have on and what I am currently mining. Some of these, you may ask, why am I converting in LTC? That is because I want to stack up a bunch of LTC and potentially use that to acquire GPUs for these systems that do not have GPUs in them. So once I figure out what GPU I'm going to settle on, like all of these Dell SFF systems, if I decide to go 3050, I'm going to just go and buy a bunch of 3050s on bulk and put one in each of these systems. Right now, I'm trying to kind of mine it into LTC, hold that LTC, and then start using that to make purchases to build out the hardware further. That's it for this video. Just kind of want to share with you guys. I know there's not a lot of crypto mining content going on. There's a lot of people leaving crypto mining. It is still my favorite way of acquiring an asset that you basically are using an asset, in this case being hardware, to acquire a digital currency that you can then use. So it's basically an asset building upon another asset. And so for me, crypto mining's always kind of been the way to go. Now, during summer months, we have to deal with the heat. We have to deal with some other things. I may turn things off. One thing you're going to notice here is that anything that I put on the AI platform, because I am trying to use those funds as well to build out those GPUs on the other systems, I'm still mining on them when they're not rented. So I'm not keeping the hardware idle. I am just taking advantage of basically those consistent rentals when they're there, and when they're not there, I am mining with it, acquiring that Litecoin, and then basically those both sides ultimately merge together and allow me to hopefully build out the rest of this hardware. Once I have all these systems built out, I do want to add a few more NASAs to fill out the hard drives, and then I'm probably going to be done expanding, and I'm just going to kind of put it in a passive mode and just let it sit, let it mine. And my plan with all of this is going into this next bear market, I'd like to have be in the position to start acquiring those GPUs, put them in, and letting everything just accumulate through the next bear market. And once I have all the hardware, I will reevaluate the coins that I am mining into. Chances are we'll probably end up switching that over to just Bitcoin, or we might go a different route. We'll see.